Hello, everyone, and welcome to Laura Ingalls' podcast program. I'm Laura Ingalls. Not really, it's me, Miss Crystal. But as you can see, it is the Halloween episode 14, and I am dressed up for Halloween. And so is Safety Man. He is Woody from the hit movie Toy Story, and then we have Miss Crystal's skeletal Crystal, and she is not dressed up for Halloween because she always is dressed up for Halloween because she's a skeleton. She always has her costume on. So happy Halloween. If you don't celebrate Halloween, that's your loss, because Halloween is fun for children and adults alike. When I was a child, did I love Halloween? Yes, and you know why. Candy. Dressing up, bobbing for apples, which is really, they don't do that anymore. And I don't know if they stopped that because of COVID or why, but if you don't know what bobbing for apples is, they would put a bucket with water in it and put apples in it. And then you as a child with boogers on your nose and probably herpes on your mouth would place your mouth into the bucket and try to get an apple. So you could touch one apple and not eat it, not take it out and put it on another one. Then another child will come in and do the same thing. And there was no disinfecting of the apples or the water between each child. It's just something we did as children. And I haven't seen bobbing for apples in years. The prize for bobbing for apples is you got an apple. And who wants an apple as a child? No one. You want a Reese's. You want a peanut butter cluster. You want a bag of M&Ms, the small one that has 2 or 3. You want a Milky Way. You don't want an apple. But for some reason, playing bobbing for apples was a big hit. You go to, we would often go to our church's Halloween extravaganza. They'd have bobbing for apples, and they'd have, what else would they have? That's pretty much the only game I can remember. Oh, they'd put your hand, you'd put your hand and close your eyes and put it in different things, and they'd take like grapes and take the skin off, and they're like, this is eyeballs, and you'd go, oh God, it feels like eyeballs. But that was about it. You just go trick-or-treating and bob for apples. Those days are gone. You're not going to bob for apples anymore unless you have it at your home where you are disinfecting it between each child. So let's bring back bobbing for apples. It's a lost art. And you might be saying to yourself, that's not real, Laura Ingalls. That's not a real thing. Well, Google it. Do you know how hard it is to grab an apple when you are missing anywhere from 4 to 6 of your front teeth as a kid? It's very hard. You'd want to cheat. You'd want to put your hand in there and try to put it up towards your mouth, but you can't because there's always somebody, either a parent or one of the school teachers who's there against their will after hours. You'd want them, they'd say, hey, you can't put your hand in there. You'd have to get it with your mouth. So you're probably wondering, why am I dressed up as Laura Ingalls? Well, if you see this outfit, you probably can't see down below, but there's an apron, and it looks like I'm with child. Nothing makes me happier to think that I could be living back in the, I don't know what years it was, 1800s, on a farm with my brothers and sisters wearing this outfit. And it was homemade. Back in the day, they made these. I didn't make this. I bought it off Amazon. But they made these outfits. And they always had a matching bonnet, matching apron to keep their dress clean. And they wore them for many, many days before they washed them, as far as I understand. And it probably stunk to high heaven. So that's what it was. It's hard to choose. I went on Amazon. I typed in plus size Halloween costume. And of course, this came up because the algorithm knows that I'm obsessed with Little House on the Prairie. It knows. And it threw this one out. And the Safety Man's outfit, I bought that a couple years ago and never wore it. So he is wearing a plus size Halloween costume as well, even though he's not plus size. What will you be for Halloween? Please type it in the comments, because this is going to come out on a Monday and you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4 days to decide. Will you be wearing a homemade one? Maybe a cat outfit where you just put whiskers and a black nose. Will you be some people try to be really clever and it has like a t-shirt that says, "This is my Halloween costume." That's a cop-out. Get a real costume. Whew. So anyway, hope you've been having a good week. I have been in and out of town with Tammy, who is on tour, the Loose Lips tour. And of course, you can go to eatmytrash.com and get tickets to that. Let's see. After this comes out, see, I'm looking at my big giant calendar. After this episode comes out, we'll be in Buffalo. We'll be in somewhere in New York. Then we'll be in Ohio. Then we'll be in Kentucky again. Then we go to Florida. I mean, there's a ton of shows after this episode hits. There's still a ton of shows. So go on there, because guess what? There's going to be a part of the show where me, Miss Crystal, not Laura Ingalls Wilder, will come out on stage. And it's very scary. When I come out and people are screaming, it is very scary. Anyway, that's catching you up with that. Now, Aiden is not wearing a costume. I did not tell him it was Halloween because it's not actually Halloween right now. It is not even October when we are filming this. Spoiler alert. Not Halloween. Your girl is putting the episodes in the bag. Anyway, we're going to go straight to Hunk of the Week. Today's Hunk of the Week is very on theme for Halloween, and I have picked a man that is mysterious, dark, a killer. He can be a killer, but also I've seen movies where he was very romantic, and that is Count Dracula. Count Dracula. Not Count Chocula, who is, yes, a vampire. Count Chocula is a cereal mascot. I'm talking about Count Dracula, or any other vampire that is the head vampire. In the vampire world, they have, I guess he would be considered like the president of all vampires, or the king of vampires. Count Dracula is the number one bitch in charge. Will he kill you if he's hungry? Yes. But I've seen movies like Bram Stoker's Dracula where I wanted to marry the vampire. Not in his form where he looked really spooky and old. I'm talking about the Gary Oldman, young Dracula. There's nothing hotter. I'm not talking about the Twilight guys. I don't like those kind of vampires. I like a rugged interview with a vampire type vampire that will bite you and then you become one of them. There's something hot about that. There's something hot about being, having your current age. Let's say if I got bit right now by a vampire, this would be the age I'd be forever. Would I be wearing this outfit? Hopefully. even though that would be very suspicious because in the future, if somebody saw me wearing this, I mean, it's out of date now, but you see me in the future wearing this, because I'm going to live for forever if I'm a vampire. And I'm wearing this, they're going to say, wow, she's old-timey. Must be a vampire. Would be very suspicious. That's the thing about being a vampire that I would not want to do is make other people vampires. I don't want to be responsible for not only killing someone, but also then making their life completely different, because they're going to watch all of their family, friends, relatives, co-workers die. And they're going to outlive them. And then they'll get a new set of family, co-workers, and all those people will die because you're living forever. When I was in my I'd say in my 1920, I was obsessed with a series of books by Anne Rice called, obviously, Interview with the Vampire, but then there was also The Mayfair Witches, and I wanted to be a vampire. Did I walk around with sort of a goth look? Yes. A lot of you guys know that I went around with a fake crow on my shoulder for many years to show just how goth I was. And that's why I picked Count Dracula for this hunk of the week. And I'll put some nice pictures up of both good and ugly vampires. And I'll label them. You know, this one's hot. This one's not hot. So you'll know which ones I like. But, yeah. So that's very spooky. That's a very spooky hunk of the week. Very spooky hunk of the week. Ooh. It can become tiresome when you have two co-hosts on here that say absolutely nothing. It's exhausting to maintain a show with two other people that do absolutely nothing. Now, when I watch this video after Aiden edits it and I see the switches over to the safety man and Crystal, nothing brings me more joy. But it's time for them to start pulling their weight. I can't continue to do all of this on my own. But I'm not complaining because I'm here until I'm not. Another wonderful Halloween themed segment is going to be called Fortune Telling. Fortune telling used to be really popular back in the day. Now I think they call it like, I don't know, reading tarot cards. But back in the day, fortune telling, you get a crystal ball and you look inside of it and you see people's future. Well, I acquired my very own crystal ball. And you're going to say, where'd you pick that up? Is it haunted? Is it from an antique store? No, it's from Michael's. It's from Michael's, but that doesn't matter because I am a fortune teller regardless of where this is from. This could be from Michael's. This could be from Hobby Lobby. This could be from an antique store where the old person has one eye and says, you don't want that. It'll change your life. And I wanted to tell some fortunes of some people that are in the crystal community. And I've been flirting with calling y'all crystals because that's cute. All right, the first fortune I want to tell is it looks like I see someone named. When you're doing your crystal ball, you have to go like this. This activates it. His name is Jose Gomez, and he is a Latino man. And I see, Jose, that in the near to distant future, you will meet a man or woman, it doesn't specify, that will go out to eat with you and you'll have a good time. Let's see, what else do I see in here? It looks like you're going to be coming into some money, maybe $20 to $30. So that is your future, Jose. Hope you were able to really, what's the word? I hope this was helping your future. Because sometimes people don't know to go to here, there, they come to a fork in the road and they don't know which way to go. Well, I'm telling you to go to the right in your fork. Excuse me. The next person I see here, her name is Haley. She is on my Patreon. Haley, you don't have a last name, but I see you commenting a lot, Haley. Oh, it looks like you're going to meet a special someone, and he's going to be your husband for quite a while. I'd say 7 years. And after 7 years, it looks like he looks like he is going to start cheating on you, Haley. And I apologize. I don't like to tell the bad, but I have to tell, if I tell you the good, I have to tell you the bad. But it looks like you're going to get a scratch off and win anywhere from $10 to $15, Haley. That is incredible. It says I see you buying a scratch off at a 7-Eleven. So if that helps you, good. That is your future. Joey, I have some future to tell you. You're Joey, and I believe you are either a male or female. I don't know. I can't tell by your name, and that's a great thing about the name Joey. Joey could go either way. Joey, it looks like you will be getting a new lawnmower sometime soon, and it's going to have auto push. So you no longer will have to use your lawnmower that you have to push. So it's when you push the handle like this, when you're cutting your grass, instead of you having to push, it looks like it will be pushing for you. Okay. Also, I see you going to a restaurant soon and getting your favorite meal and eating that with a friend. Incredible. Wow. Looks like you guys are having fun. All right, let me see if I have anything else in here. I've got Kitty. You are named after a pet, which is cool. I see that in here. You're named after a cat. And it says here that you are going to get absolutely, how do I say this? Your vagina is going to get absolutely wrecked by a really hot guy. Doesn't say his name, but he's anywhere from 5'5" to 6'2", really handsome. And he's going to take you on a date and then just absolutely destroy your nether regions. And then my last prediction here. Ooh, Lori Reynolds. Wow. Looks like you are going to have 2 children in the future. And if you already have those children now, that I must be seeing the past. But it's showing 2 children who are going to be the bad. They're bad kids. I hate to say that. Bad kids, but you're going to have a really great husband or wife. It doesn't specify. And also the same with you. If you go to a 7-Eleven and get a scratch off, you're going to win anywhere from $5 to $25. And that's all the future I see in here. Oh, I see Aiden in here. What's Aiden doing? Oh, looks like he's just sitting over there editing. So hope that helps everybody. I'm going to tell you that telling fortunes really takes it out of me. and I'm ready to stop the podcast, but I'm going to keep going because it is Halloween, one of my favorite times of the year. Damn it. What else can we talk about today? We talk about trick-or-treating as a child. What did you use to get your candy in? I used, for some reason, a pillowcase, and I'm wondering if that's normal. Is it because we were poor? Of course, I would have loved a little pumpkin, plastic pumpkin to get my candy in. But we took a pillowcase. And then we'd walk around the neighborhood and say trick or treat. And I don't know if this was specific to the area that I lived in, but they made you say, you had to either say a joke or some other thing to get candy. Say trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. And then they would in turn give you candy. They'd say, well, you got to tell us a joke. And I said, I just said trick or treat, smell my feet. Give me something good to eat. I'm 8 years old. What else do you want me to do? I'm not a professional comedian at this point. I can't make up a joke for every single door in the neighborhood. When it was my time to start giving out candy to children, I took a lot of pride and delight in it. And what I found is that children are greedy. A lot of children coming to my door saying, hey, can I get 2 of those? Or can I get candy for my cousin? If you're not in attendance, you're not getting candy. I'm not giving you candy for your cousin or your brother. If you want the candy, you have to be present. Can you hear that noise? That was weird. You have to be present. And at one point I put a bowl out there with a sign that said, take 1. Because I had something going on. I think it was bingo night or something. But I also had my ring cam on and noticed the first 2 or 3 children took 1. But the ones after that took the bowl and emptied it into their receptacle. My candy is not your payday. All right? And I'm not talking about the candy payday because kids don't generally like the candy payday. Don't dump my whole bucket of candy into your pillowcase because I will be, first of all, contacting the authorities. I will be contacting your parents. Just a FYI. If this year, when I put out a bowl, because I think this year we got something going on because Halloween is falling on a Friday, so pretty sure I'm not going to be home. Just a warning to your children. If your children live in my trailer park and they think they're going to take more than 1 candy, and I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a bowl full of candy corn, which I would never do. If it is, you get 1 candy corn per child. Simple as that. And I do have my ring cam on set up. So if you think you're going to do a fast one on Miss Crystal, you're not. And you might be thinking, hey, I'm a child and I have a mask on. She's not going to be able to identify me. I will. I'll be doing DNA testing of each child. Wow. I really, when I start talking about children, I really start to go off, and I apologize for that. I do have a rant that I want to fill in here, and this is something that I've been seeing on TikTok for many years, but recently I've been seeing it more, and it's when someone types out blind react. So they're saying they're blind reacting to something they're watching. So let's say it's a video of a car crash. So they'll put the video of the car crash, then they'll put themselves down in the corner and say blind react, meaning they have never seen it. And that's a bold-faced lie. Because you have to see the video in order to know that you're going to blind react to it. Quit telling us you're blind reacting when what you're doing is lying. Just type, instead of blind react, type lying. Because it's not the first time you've seen it. You've watched it to know that you're going to do a blind react. You're not fooling anyone, especially me. And I'm not sure what it is about this that irritates me so much. I think it's kind of like the wink, where in the internet culture, things get ingrained in this internet culture and it just becomes a thing where people don't question it. People aren't questioning whether or not you're doing a blind react. They're taking it at face value, and that's why we need to be internet savvy. If you see someone saying blind react, they're lying to you. So what else are they lying about? I don't know. Scan down their page and look. You have to be internet literate, not internet illiterate. Because that's what's happening. People are seeing all these AI videos, mostly of, for some reason, they love to make an AI video of a very fat person breaking a bridge. I know I've talked about this before, breaking a bridge, breaking a chair. People are typing in the comments, oh my God, that poor lady, is she okay? She's not real, she's AI. You have to be smarter, people, on the internet. There's no such thing as a blind react unless you have someone come up and say, hey, I have a video to show you. I want you to do a blind react. I'm not going to let you look at it. Set at your camera and start filming now. That's a true blind react. So if you see somebody and they're blind react and then they're going, oh no, God. They're faking it. It's not authentic. It's fake and I don't want to see it. Stop with the blind reactions. They're not blind. First of all, I don't even think we say blind anymore. We say visually impaired. Do not do visually impaired reactions when it's not. And that is the rant of the week. And I like when I see something and it makes me absolute rage, I think I'm going to save that for the podcast to share with others something that really, really pisses me off. And that's what it was this week. One week it was winking. This week it's blind reacting. And moving on to the Halloween figuring out the figurine. Now, you could tell I did a shopping spree at Michael's. When I saw this, I almost fell off my scooter. Look at it. It says on here $22.99, but what Michael's did is jacked up the price, making it $22.99, and then saying, oh, guess what? 40% off. They got me because I bought it. Not only did I buy this, I bought some lights that you see hanging. I bought a crystal ball. So if you could help me figure this out. First of all, we have a bathtub which can only be described as pearls of bubbles. They look like pearls. And the bubbles are all over the cat and the skeleton. I was under the impression that skeletons did not need to bathe any longer because they don't have pores, they don't have skin, they don't have muscles, tendons, they're just bones. So for this skeleton to be in a bathtub alone is crazy. But then to bring a cat, not even a skeleton cat, this is a real cat. And the cat actually doesn't look afraid. Which leads me to believe there's something mystical about this cat. Because any cat that I've ever known They're not going anywhere near water. This cat seems to be enjoying taking a bath with a creepy skeleton. Is this cat the skeleton's pet? And why is she? And I'm saying she because she's got this rose here. So I'm assuming that she is a female skeleton. Why does she have that cat in there? It's really cute. The bathtub itself is cute. Look at the detail on that bathtub. Is it worth $22.99 with 40% off, which would make it about, I don't know, math, 15? And it's hand painted. You could tell that makes it worth it. I'm imagining Miss Skeletal Crystal in a bathtub with a cat. Does that make sense? But it's not, as Justin Bieber says, it's just not clocking with me why it has a regular cat in there and not a skeletal cat. Are skeletons able to keep and harbor regular pets? That would be something I could ask Miss Crystal. In fact, Miss Crystal has a skeletal, looks like a dog sitting next to her. I don't think it's a cat because the jaw line is very spooky. And I'll call this one Rub-a-dub-dub in a Tub. And that's not very original, but that's what it makes me think of. I just can't help but think of the people at Michael's craft store who are sitting around the table like, okay, guys, we got to get our Halloween decorations out. Anybody got any good ideas? And then a guy named Ralph says, hey, what about if we had a bathtub full of bubbles and a skeleton inside of it holding a cat? And then another guy says, hey, that sounds great. And then it's in production. And then another guy says, hey, how about we make a crystal ball that's blue and just put the smallest light in it so you can't even see it turn on? And somebody approved that. I don't even know if you can see that turn on. Whenever I bought this, it had one of those things, where you have to take out the thing so it can work. So I didn't see that the light was like that, or I wouldn't have bought it. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, this got approved in the Michael's writer's table. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. That's how Skeletal Crystal says happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Guess what, folks? Been waiting for this for the last 30 minutes. Hold on a minute. Where's my thing? Oh, Jesus. It's that time. It's 30 minutes. Made it to the halfway part. This is wonderful. And the whole time I'm sitting here wearing this outfit and thinking, what would Laura Ingalls Wilder do if she had this kind of technology? If she saw this camera or these lights, what would she do? Would she freak out? Would she freak out if she saw that iPad for voicemails? She has pens and pencils and candles and very rudimentary candy. That's one thing I do remember. And back in the old days, when you go to the store, they'd have real basic candy, like a licorice or a hard candy that tastes like strawberry. Nothing fancy. So imagine Halloween's back in Laura Ingalls' day. Not a lot of fun. I mean, even their Christmases, they had to make their Christmas presents for each other. That sounds really boring. Not fun. Yeah, I think Laura would be just fascinated with this technology. And she'd run home and say, Paul, I met a lady today. She had this thing and it was like this. And she showed me and I could see a picture of myself. And her family would say, Laura, you're being silly. That doesn't make sense. And she'd say, they had these things that were like candles, but you plug them into the wall and they're light. She couldn't even comprehend what I've got going on in this room. If she looked over and saw a fake man and a skeleton, she wouldn't even know what to do. Makes no sense. We're going to listen to some voicemails. We're going to break things up here. And these are not Halloween themed, I bet, because the people that are calling didn't know it was going to be Halloween. So these are just regular themed. Voicemail, it's time for the voicemail. And to think that Laura Ingalls wears a pair of headphones, blowing my mind. All right, first ones first.
Hey, Miss Crystal, this is Max giving you a call from Detroit, Michigan. I had a question for you today. My question is, where do you get most of your trinkets and collectibles and figurines from? Do you go to garage sales or estate sales or go thrifting a lot? Just wondering where you get those awesome goodies for your curio cabinet. All right, Miss Crystal, I'm so proud of you for everything you do on your podcast program. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.
Now that was a nice call. Nobody calling me out for anything weird going on with discharge. Nobody accusing me of anything. Nobody wanting to fight me. It was simply a man named Max saying, I'm proud of you. And where do you get your figurines? And I'm going to answer you. You pretty much said all the things. Garage sales, thrifting, but a majority of them have been given to me. Over the years, they've been given to me by people that are in my family or friends of the podcast, people that have known me for quite a while. In fact, out here on the road, I got 3 brand new figurines. One's a little dog. One is like 2 Easter bunnies. So we have those to come up. But yeah, that's people. When people get me a gift, they know, oh, Miss Crystal is going to want a figurine. And they're right. And I appreciate that because then I put it on my shelf or my other curio cabinet. And then I get to share it with the world. Thank you for that wonderful call. That was very nice. Very nice. And I hope that, are we going to Detroit? I don't think so. I hope I get to meet you sometime, Max.
Hey there, Miss Crystal. This is old Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to pause you right there, Bobby, because I'm clocking you. And I'm clocking you in that your name's not Bobby. And that's fine. You don't have to call it the real name. But what I'm saying is the same with the blind react. I'm seeing it right away. That's a fake name. Because you said, this is old Bobby.
You remember old Bobby? Back in the day, you and I used to have a lot of fun together. You remember that, Miss Crystal? Yeah, we used to go over to the Kmart and get us 2 extra large Coca-Cola flavored slushies.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd climb into my 1978 El Camino and go riding off into the sunset.
Yep.
I never had a lady make me feel the way that you did, Miss Crystal. I miss you talking all about those figurines you collect. One might say you and I had a few of our own precious moments. Hey, Miss Crystal? Anyway, darling, I just wanted you to know I've been thinking about you. And maybe someday you and I can slip into the back of my El Camino again and test out those old shocks.
Bobby, Just go ahead and tell them what your name is, Bobby. They can all tell that your name is Elvis Presley. You're not hiding it from anyone. And the fact that you were able to call me from beyond the grave is astounding. Yes, I did have a relationship with Elvis Presley many years ago. And we would go to Kmart and get 2 large Coke flavored Slurpees and then go in your El Camino. Those things are true. Now, once TMZ gets a hold of this podcast and hears that Elvis Presley called me, all hell's going to break loose. Priscilla's not going to like it, first of all, because she just put out a new book, I believe. She's not going to like the fact that Elvis was cheating on you with me. People are going to say, that's not really Elvis. Did you hear his voice? You're going to tell me this isn't Elvis Presley? Come on.
Hey there, Miss Crystal. This is old Bobby.
Elvis Presley. Alrighty, moving on here.
Hey, Crystal. I've been meaning to come up and talk to you, but I just haven't got around to it. This is Lurleen and down at Lot 6. You need to tell Daryl to stop coming down and shitting in my yard. Every time I get home from work, he's squatted down in the damn bushes. And I know he's your cousin and you can't tell him what to do, but I'm getting pissed off and the sheriff is about to come get him for shitting. I don't know what else to do, Crystal. It's getting to be too much. There's flies everywhere and it smells like a damn sewer at my lot. I can't run this trailer park with random men shitting all over the ground. And you tell Tammy to quit coming down here and fucking my husband. I know Daryl hadn't been in jail, so she don't have an excuse right now. Well, I'll see you around. Bye, Crystal.
Now, there's 2 issues here. Daryl shitting in your yard. Tammy banging your husband. There's only one of those I can fix, and that's Daryl. And that's because the problem has already been fixed. We had a plumbing issue for going on 3 weeks. Toilet wasn't flushing, and Daryl was not able to fix it. So we've been shitting in, I guess, lot number 6. Daryl has. We've been trying to keep it around our property. We have a bucket that we're doing our business in, and then we're going out back and burning it. I was not aware that Daryl was going down to your place and doing it. I do apologize for that. It won't happen again. I promise you that. Now, as far as Tammy coming down there and having her way with your husband, I mean, I know who your husband is Stu. And Stu is one of the hottest guys that's in the trailer park. So I don't know what you want her to do. It's not her fault. He's so hot. What I would suggest maybe is keep a leash on your husband, right? Because Tammy's going to do what she's going to do. She's Tammy. And I can't say, hey, Tammy, don't go down there and bang Lorraine's husband. I would never try to impose something like that on her. So one problem fixed, the other one I can't do nothing about. Maybe call Tammy's voicemail. You know, that's not a me problem. That's a you and Tammy problem and Stu problem.
Urgency level 11.
Urgency. If you don't know what that is, when people write emails to Trailer Tales, we had them put urgency. So if it's an urgency 1, not very important. Urgency 11, that's really high. So this is important. Okay. Okay, that I'm thinking about shutting this voicemail thing down because do not say urgency 11 and then say nothing. You said nothing, and all I hear in the background is a bunch of noise. I got to hear the noise again because I was not able to identify urgency 11, then noise, static. You saying sound like somebody playing a drum. I hear children in the background, things dropping. The thing with the urgency counter, the urgency rating system is that it's important. And if you say urgency 11, I'm listening and I'm taking the call. But then the information that was provided after was bullshit. You're degrading the urgency rating system by saying that it's an 11 when it's a -4. I'm blocking you. As soon as I can figure out how to block you on this voicemail, I'm blocking you. You have one more chance to call back and tell me your issue. Damn.
Hey, this is Tony. I was wondering your advice on something. My uncle and I were carnies, and we run around at the different fairs, and we got a funnel cake business where we cook funnel cakes at our truck, and we sell funnel cakes, right there. And I was wondering, he's getting older now. He's about 82 roundabouts, and he's getting sick, and he was saying that he wants cremated, and he wants his ashes put in the fryer for the funnel cakes and served to all the patrons. Is like a send off, and I don't feel right about that. So I was wondering what you think. I didn't know if I should, honor his request. I don't want to be disrespectful to the deceased, but I'm not sure what to do here. I just wondering what you think I should do, and I appreciate everything you do, and I love listening to your podcast, and we listen to it on the road in between different fairs, and everything you do is much appreciated. All right, you take care now, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
All right, now, bye-bye.
Thank you for calling. I love this question because I've never heard of this before. And I think this is there's a simple answer. As you're going to each town, and I don't know did you say he has passed or he's getting ready to pass, I think. Just have 2 separate funnel cakes. Have the regular funnel cake and then say funnel cake with my deceased loved one's ashes. And maybe jack up the price a little bit. If it's funnel cake $7, have his ashes be $12. It's simple. Put 2 different fryers. Now I know the fryer system, they put it, they put the batter in there. You're going to have to get 2 different fryers because you do not want to cross-contaminate human remains with regular funnel cake. Because there's people that are vegetarians or vegans and they don't want to eat human remains. And you might be saying, well, they're just ashes. That's not really meat. It was meat. You shouldn't do it in a way where you're trying to trick people. Because if you're tricking people, you're looking at lawsuits. You have to have 2 different funnel cake. Funnel cake 1, regular batter. Funnel cake 2, loved one's remains. And maybe you could even go so far as to get they always put the funnel cakes on a white paper plate. Maybe get a white paper plate that has a picture of your uncle or whoever he is, uncle or grandpa, I don't know. And that way when they're eating it, by the time they're done, they can blow off the powdered sugar and there'd be a picture of him there. Or better yet, that's actually good. This way you don't have to have 2 different fry systems. The same funnel cake, but you're using your uncle's ashes as the powdered sugar. You're putting it in a little salt grinder. And one's going to have regular powdered sugar. The other one has your dead loved one's remains. Just go all over the funnel cake. Easy. 1 fryer, 2 different powder sugar sources. 1 powder sugar made of powdered sugar, 1 made of human ashes. Those are 2 options. Whichever one is easiest and cheapest for you to do would be the best. But again, consent. People have to know they're eating your loved one. You can't spring that on them. Also, somebody, after eating your uncle's remains, might go get a DNA test, and all of a sudden, your uncle's DNA's changed their DNA. And now they're being brought up for a crime because of your uncle's DNA. That's why you have to tell people. The way that I'm able to solve problems, and I don't toot my horn often, but I provided you 2 solid, foolproof answers.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly.
Wow.
Now that I have your attention, tell Dave to start stealing the packages off my porch, Miss Crystal.
This is not a Dave hotline. This is a Miss Crystal's podcast program voicemail. This is not a place to call. And I can't believe I have to repeat this every time. This is not a place for my doctors to call, bill collectors, Uncle Sam, or people that are angry with Dave. If Dave's stealing packages from your front porch, that is a you problem. Get a Ring camera, or even better yet, set up some sort of booby trap where when Dave goes to grab your package, it has one of those animal traps, and will get his arm. His arms are so thin, though, he might be able to just pull it out. This has nothing to do with me. Do not call me about Dave. Do we live in the same trailer park? Yes. Do we have a podcast together? Yes. There's only so many problems I can take care of in a day, and this ain't one of them. I'm Laura Ingalls. What am I going to do about it? I'm just beside myself. Once again. This week we don't have a creation of the week. And I'm sorry to say that. We don't. And I've been on the road. I've been selling out of what I have. I don't have time to make creations. And I'm sorry for that. Oh, I need to take a thumbnail. That is going to look so cool. I love that thumbnail. And I don't know if this is early, but we're done. The Halloween episode is a wrap. First Halloween episode on Miss Crystal's podcast on Laura Ingalls' podcast program. And I hope you had fun, and be careful on Halloween. For years, they were putting razor blades in candy. They were putting needles. Look at your children's candy. Look at your own candy before eating it. Okay? And happy Halloween to you, Miss Crystal. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, Woody. There's a snake in my boot. Oh, okay. All right. See you next time. And have a may you be blessed beyond your comprehension. All right. Bye-bye.